Hello and welcome to this week's video blog of Janet Talks Business TV. Today I would like to share with you a simple trick that I discovered and I still use to stop the struggling in my business. So if you're anything like me, you have a very long to-do list. And that list just keeps getting longer because every time you knock one thing off of it, you add 2 or 3 more to the other end. And when I first started to build my business, it seemed like it was going to be really straightforward. I would create a name for the business, build a website, come up with some programs, and then I would go find clients and sell to them. But the reality was very different than that. So it seemed like I was fighting these crashing waves, right? It's like going into the ocean. And you see just on the other side of the waves, you see this calm water where you can go out and float and swim. And it looks pretty easy to get over the turbulent breaking waves. But what happens is every time you go in there, you get knocked down, start getting crashed around within the waves, tumbled around, and you have to keep picking yourself back up and getting back toward the shore and then starting over again. So that was kind of how it felt for me in my business. And I'm sure that if you're feeling the struggle, that you understand what I'm talking about. So building a business can be very overwhelming because there's just so many things to do and so many things to learn. And even for me, who had been in the business world for 30 years, the truth is that we're not alone. Most small business owners across the world are working their tails off. And that is the backwards way to do it, no pun intended, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to get to this point of having time freedom and money freedom, but we're working as though we're employees with a job that is 24/7. So here's the simple trick that I finally learned, and that is to slow down. Yes, you heard me right, slow down. Now I know that sounds counterintuitive because all of this activity makes you feel like you're getting ahead, but in truth, that frenetic activity is actually what is hurting your progress and keeping your business from succeeding. So you might be saying to yourself, okay, well, that sounds great, but there has to be a catch because if I slow down, I'm going to really get further behind. Well, yes, there is a catch. And the catch is that the only way that you're going to be able to slow down is if you have a strategic plan and you have a support team in place. So a lot of you know that my coach is Shanda Sumter, and she sent a blog out yesterday that I thought was really interesting. I want to quote it to you. So she was outlining what you should expect if you are building a business. And here's what she said. In year 1, you should make some money, but the goal is really to set a foundation of potential clients under you. Year 2, you should break 100,000. Year 3 is the golden year when you bring the business to 200 to 300,000, which is very possible. Year 4 is where you will hit probably about 500,000, $500,000 in gross revenue. Of course, your expenses will have gone up by then. And by year 5, you could definitely be $1 million business, and it will continue to grow from there. So then she went on to give 3 key pieces of advice. And the first is that it is so important to completely focus on whatever project you are working on and make sure that you master that job, that project. Number 2 is to lean on your team for support. And number 3 is to build a list of subscribers who think like you think, so that you can sell your books, your programs, your events, or whatever services you are offering. So if you are struggling, that has to change. When you start each day with a clear idea of what to focus on, when you execute that project masterfully, and when you know that you have a solid roadmap to follow, where you will have step-by-step guidance and you don't have to worry about the big picture, you can actually focus on the day-to-day work, you will be working a lot smarter, not harder, and you are going to find that you enjoy the journey so much more. So you need to start every day knowing exactly what needs to be accomplished that day. And then when you finish your work, let it go. Now that's hard to do because we're so conditioned that we need to work ourselves to the bone. I know, because that's what I did until I figured out over the last year that there was a much better way to do it. And it worked. So I guarantee you that if you slow down and you focus on the right things, which are the steps of your strategic plan, and you allow the process to unfold over the course of the year, you will get further ahead than you would ever get by working frantically. So I am here to help you. Just below this video is the link to listen to the 60-minute training that I sent out a few weeks ago. You may have missed it, which is how to create your 12-month client attraction plan. I call that a C map. And then there is a link to schedule your free strategic planning session with me. So take advantage of these. I am here to help you. And I want you to succeed in your business. So until next week, I'm sending you a lot of light and love, and I want you to slow down. See you next week. Bye-bye.